Once upon a time in the village of Akuku, there lived a beautiful princess named NWAAMAKA. She had long, flowing hair like the river and eyes that sparkled like the stars in the night sky. But there was one thing about NWAAMAKA that made her different from other princesses. She had a strong body odor. No matter how much she bathed or how many perfumes she used, the foul odor seemed to linger around her like a cloud. The people of Akuku whispered behind her back and held their noses whenever she passed by. It was a sad thing indeed, for NWAAMAKA longed for love and companionship like any other young woman. Legend had it that the foul odor was a curse passed down through generations of NWAAMAKA's family. No one knew exactly how it started, but the curse was said to have been cast by a jealous sorceress who envied the beauty of the royal family. NWAAMAKA's parents, the king and queen, had tried everything to rid their daughter of the curse. They consulted with the wisest elders and traveled far and wide in search of a cure, but to no avail. And so, NWAAMAKA grew up knowing that she was destined to live a lonely life, for no man would ever want to marry a princess with such a foul odor. Despite the whispers and the stares, NWAAMAKA remained kind and gentle. She spent her days tending to the royal gardens and her nights gazing up at the stars, dreaming of a life beyond the walls of the palace. But deep down, she couldn't shake the feeling of loneliness that gnawed at her heart. "I wish I could be like other princesses," NWAAMAKA would often sigh as she brushed her hair in front of the mirror. "I wish someone would see past my odor and love me for who I am." One day, the king and queen decided it was time for NWAAMAKA to marry. They knew it would be a difficult task, but they were determined to find a prince who could look past their daughter's curse and love her for the kind and gentle soul that she was. A royal announcement was made throughout the kingdom, inviting eligible princes from far and wide to come and court Princess NWAAMAKA. The prospect of marrying into the royal family was enticing, and soon, suitors began to arrive in Akuku from all corners of the land. Princes from neighboring kingdoms came dressed in their finest attire, bearing gifts of gold and jewels for the princess. They bowed and flattered and vied for her attention, hoping to win her hand in marriage. But no matter how charming or handsome they were, none of them could bear the stench that surrounded NWAAMAKA. One by one, they made excuses and left the palace, their noses wrinkled in disgust. NWAAMAKA watched them go with a heavy heart, knowing that her curse had once again driven away any chance of happiness. Just when all hope seemed lost, a mysterious stranger arrived in Akuku. He was tall and handsome, with dark eyes that seemed to hold a secret. He carried no gifts or fine clothes, but there was something about him that drew NWAAMAKA's gaze. "I am Prince Henry," he said with a bow. "I have traveled from a distant kingdom in search of a bride." Unlike the other suitors, Prince Henry seemed unfazed by NWAAMAKA's foul odor. He treated her with kindness and respect, never once wrinkling his nose or making excuses to leave. Instead, he spent his days getting to know the princess, listening to her stories and sharing his own. NWAAMAKA found herself drawn to Prince Henry in a way she had never felt before. He made her laugh and smile, and for the first time in her life, she dared to hope that maybe, just maybe, he could be the one to break the curse. As the days turned into weeks, NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry's friendship grew stronger. They went for long walks in the royal gardens, exploring hidden paths and secret groves. They talked about their hopes and dreams, their fears and insecurities, and with each passing day, NWAAMAKA felt herself falling more deeply in love with the prince. But still, she couldn't shake the nagging doubt in the back of her mind. What if Prince Henry was like all the others, unable to see past her curse to the person she truly was? Determined to know the truth, NWAAMAKA decided to put Prince Henry to the test. One evening, as they sat together beneath the stars, she confessed her deepest fear to him. "I am cursed, Prince Henry," she said, tears welling in her eyes. "No man has ever been able to bear the stench that surrounds me. Will you be any different?" To NWAAMAKA's surprise, Prince Henry didn't recoil in horror or turn away in disgust. Instead, he took her hands in his and looked into her eyes with a warmth that made her heart skip a beat. "NWAAMAKA, my dear princess," he said softly. "I do not care about your curse or the odor that surrounds you. All I care about is the person you are inside, kind, gentle, and full of love. I promise to stand by your side, no matter what trials may come our way." With Prince Henry's words ringing in her ears, NWAAMAKA felt a glimmer of hope flicker to life in her heart. Could it be possible that true love had finally found its way to Akuku? She dared to believe it might be so. But even as she allowed herself to dream of a future with Prince Henry, a part of her couldn't shake the fear that their love would not be enough to break the curse that had plagued her family for generations. As NWAAMAKA pondered the possibilities of a future with Prince Henry, a shadow fell across her thoughts. She remembered the stories her parents had told her of the sorceress who had cursed their family, and a shiver ran down her spine. "What if the sorceress still holds power over us?" she whispered to Prince Henry one night as they sat by the fire. "What if our love is not enough to break the curse?" Prince Henry wrapped his arms around her and held her close, his voice firm with determination. "We will face whatever challenges come our way together, NWAAMAKA," he said. "I will not let anything come between us, not even the darkest magic." Determined to rid themselves of the curse once and for all, NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry set out to find the sorceress's lair. They traveled through forests and across rivers, following ancient maps and whispered rumors until at last, they came to a hidden cave deep in the heart of the mountains. Inside the cave, they found the sorceress waiting for them, her eyes gleaming with malice. "So, you have come to beg for mercy," she sneered, her voice echoing off the walls of the cavern. "You think your love is enough to break my curse? Foolish mortals." Undeterred by the sorceress's taunts, NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry stood tall, their hearts filled with courage. They knew that defeating the sorceress would not be easy, but they were willing to risk everything for the chance to be together. With a wave of her hand, the sorceress summoned dark magic to surround them, but NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry stood their ground, facing her with unwavering determination. "We may not have magic on our side," Prince Henry declared, "but we have something far more powerful, love." As the sorceress's dark magic swirled around them, NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry joined hands and closed their eyes, focusing all their thoughts on the love that bound them together. Slowly, but surely, a warm golden light began to glow within their hearts, pushing back the darkness and filling the cavern with its radiance. The sorceress shrieked in fury as her magic was undone by the power of their love, and with a final burst of light, she vanished into thin air, never to be seen again. With the sorceress defeated, NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry emerged from the cave victorious. The curse that had plagued their family for generations was finally broken, and the people of Akuku rejoiced at the news. NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry were married in a grand ceremony attended by kings and queens from far and wide. And as they exchanged vows beneath the clear blue sky, the foul odor that had once surrounded NWAAMAKA vanished, replaced by the sweet scent of roses. From that day forward, NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry ruled the kingdom of Akuku with wisdom and compassion. Their love for each other only grew stronger with each passing year, and were joy and laughter in the palace. And though their journey had been fraught with challenges and dangers, NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry knew that as long as they had each other, they could overcome anything that came their way. But little did they know, their greatest adventure was yet to come. Years passed in the kingdom of Akuku, and NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry were blessed with a son, whom they named Obinna. The young prince was a source of great joy and pride to his parents, with his bright smile and curious nature. As Obinna grew, it became clear that he possessed a kind heart and a fierce determination, much like his parents. He spent his days exploring the kingdom, making friends with the villagers, and learning the ways of the royal court. NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry watched with love and pride as their son grew into a fine young man, knowing that one day, he would be a worthy ruler of Akuku. But even as happiness reigned in the kingdom, a shadow of the past loomed on the horizon. Rumors began to spread of a new threat lurking in the shadows, a force more powerful and dangerous than any the kingdom had ever faced before. Whispers of dark magic and sinister plots reached the ears of NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry, filling them with a sense of unease. They knew that they could not ignore the danger, for the safety of their people depended on their swift action. And so, they called upon their most trusted advisors and warriors, preparing to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With heavy hearts, NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry bid farewell to their beloved kingdom and set out on a journey to confront the new threat head-on. They traveled through forests and across deserts, facing dangers at every turn, but their determination never wavered. Along the way, they encountered old friends and made new allies, gathering strength and courage for the battles that lay ahead. And as they drew closer to their destination, they knew that they would need every ounce of their resolve to emerge victorious. At last, NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry reached the outskirts of the dark citadel where their enemy lay in wait. The air was heavy with an ominous silence, broken only by the distant sound of thunder and the crackling of dark energy. With weapons drawn and hearts pounding, they ventured into the heart of the citadel, prepared to face whatever horrors awaited them within. As they entered the inner chamber of the citadel, NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry were met with a sight that filled them with dread. The sorceress, thought to have been defeated long ago, stood before them, her eyes burning with a malevolent light. "You thought you could escape me," she hissed, her voice dripping with venom. "But I am not so easily vanquished." With a wave of her hand, she unleashed a wave of dark magic that sent NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry reeling. But they stood their ground, their determination unwavering as they prepared to face their greatest challenge yet. As the sorceress's dark magic closed in around them, NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry joined hands once more, their hearts filled with love and courage. They called upon the power that had defeated the sorceress once before, channeling it into a brilliant burst of light that pushed back the darkness. With a scream of rage, the sorceress unleashed her full power, but it was no match for the strength of NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry's love. Slowly but surely, the darkness began to recede, until at last, the sorceress was vanquished once and for all. With the sorceress defeated and peace restored to the kingdom, NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry returned to Akuku as heroes. The people greeted them with cheers and applause, grateful for their bravery and sacrifice. But even as they celebrated their victory, NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry knew that their work was far from over. The citadel lay in ruins, and the kingdom was in need of rebuilding. With the help of their loyal subjects, they set to work repairing the damage and restoring Akuku to its former glory. And as they walked side by side, their love for each other and for their kingdom only grew stronger. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, life in Akuku returned to normal. The kingdom prospered under the wise and just rule of NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry, and peace reigned once more. But amidst the tranquility of their everyday lives, a new adventure awaited. For NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry had been blessed with another child, a daughter whom they named Bella. With her birth came a new sense of hope and promise, for the future of Akuku was secure in the hands of the next generation. And as they looked upon their children with love and pride, NWAAMAKA and Prince Henry knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, as a family. And so, the story of NWAAMAKA the strong-body odor princess continued, filled with love, courage, and the enduring spirit of Akuku.